The 1990 VW Beetle 4x4 is one of those cars that seems to come straight out of an alternate timeline, where practicality meets personality, and vintage charm fuses with rugged capability. It's not a car you see every day, and that's exactly why today on Automotive, we're diving into this rare and fascinating machine that dares to defy expectations. To understand the 1990 VW Beetle 4x4, you first have to appreciate what the original Beetle represented. Designed in the 1930s and mass-produced post-World War II, the Volkswagen Beetle quickly became one of the most iconic cars of the 20th century. Known for its reliability, simplicity, and quirky design, the Beetle wasn't about flash or speed, it was about personality. But this version, this is something different. This is the Beetle reimagined as a go-anywhere, do-anything kind of machine. At first glance, it looks like your classic bug, round headlights, soft curves, a design that practically smiles at you. But then, you notice the ride height, the wheels, the aggressive stance, and you realize, this isn't your average vintage VW. This is a Beetle with off-road DNA. That's right, under the nostalgic exterior lies a 4x4 drivetrain, giving this car the grip and confidence to take on terrain its forebears would never dare to touch. Now, you might be wondering, was this actually made by Volkswagen? The answer is, not exactly. The 4x4 Beetles of this era were often custom builds, sometimes created by off-road enthusiasts, rally teams, or independent shops who wanted to take the humble bug to the next level. But Volkswagen did dabble in this direction with the Iltis and even considered 4WD Beetle variants for military use. This particular 1990 version blends real engineering ingenuity with classic design, creating something unique and functional. Pop open the hood, or rather, the rear engine cover, and you'll typically find an air-cooled flat 4 engine. In some builds, that could be the original 1.6-liter boxer, or it might be something swapped and tuned for more torque. Regardless of the specific power plant, what matters most is how that power gets distributed. With a converted 4WD drivetrain, this Beetle becomes a trail-ready, mud-loving machine that's surprisingly capable when the pavement ends. The suspension has been heavily upgraded, of course. Independent setups all around, often lifted with longer shocks and tougher components, allow for better ground clearance and articulation. Add to that a set of all-terrain tires, often wrapped around retro steel wheels or chunky off-road rims, and you've got a Beetle that can climb hills, cross creeks, and take you places no ordinary bug could ever dream of. Inside, the cabin maintains much of its original simplicity. It's still that unmistakable Beetle cockpit, thin pillars, rounded dash, minimal controls, but it's usually been adapted for adventure. Think rally-style gauges, reinforced seats, roll cages, maybe even CB radios or off-road switches. The analog charm is still there, but it's ready for action. There's a rough elegance to the whole setup, like someone took a classic and gave it a second life with a serious attitude. On the road, or off it, the experience is raw and mechanical in the best way possible. You feel every bump, hear every rev, and are constantly reminded that you're not just driving a car, you're commanding a piece of automotive rebellion. And let's not forget the sound. That boxer engine growls with purpose, a throaty reminder that you're behind the wheel of something built with passion. What makes the 1990 VW Beetle 4x4 truly special is its contradiction. It takes a symbol of simplicity and transforms it into a symbol of capability. It's the underdog of off-roading, a vehicle that shouldn't work in this role, and yet somehow absolutely does. Whether crawling through backwoods trails or just parked at a meet, it draws attention and admiration from anyone who knows cars. It's not the fastest, it's not the most powerful. But in a world full of cookie-cutter SUVs and indistinguishable crossovers, the 4x4 Beetle stands tall, figuratively and literally, as a testament to creativity, craftsmanship, and the love of driving something that's truly different. And it's not just about looks or nostalgia. This thing can move. With the right gearing, proper locking differentials, and that light weight, it can conquer trails that would give heavier rigs a hard time. The short wheelbase helps it turn on a dime, and the engine over the rear axle gives it surprisingly good traction on steep climbs. It's not just a novelty, it's a performer. So whether you're a VW purist, an off-road junkie, or someone who just loves weird and wonderful cars, the 1990 VW Beetle 4x4 has something to offer. It's more than a car, it's a conversation starter, a weekend warrior, and a rolling piece of history, reimagined for a new purpose. Here on Automotive, we're always chasing the stories behind the builds, the passion behind the machines, and the soul of every drive. And this Beetle, it's got soul in spades. It's what happens when someone asks, what if? And then goes out into the garage and actually builds the answer. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the coolest oddball builds out there, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Automotive for more unique cars, inspiring builds, and real automotive passion. And let us know in the comments, if you could build your own 4x4 from any classic car, what would it be? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next ride.